Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. In this video I'm going to be making this Damascus steel chef's knife. This is a Japanese style of chef's knife called a Kiritsuke. It's made specifically for left-handed use by request, and it's made of Damascus steel with an ebony and ironwood handle. So please stick around and enjoy the video. Thank you. Okay, so I have my 1095 and my 15 and 20, and I'm just going to stack them in alternating layers. Alright, so I've made two 7-layer billets. Since I don't have a power hammer or a forging press or anything like that, I thought it'd be easier to make two small billets and fold them each a couple times and then weld them together, rather than starting out with a really big billet. Alright, so we have 3 pieces of 7 layers each, so this will give us 21 layers. Right, so here's 4 stacks of 21 layers each, so this will be our final weld, and that's 84 layers. Okay, so I've drawn this out into a square bar and just given a quick etch on the edge so you can see the pattern like that. You can see there the 84 layers that are in there. So now what I'm going to do is heat it up and twist it in the vise. Okay, so I have the rough shape forged in, and now we're going to put the bevels in it. Now, the guy who bought this knife from me is left-handed, and ordinarily this wouldn't make a difference because knives are usually symmetrical, but this style of knife is only beveled on one side. The other side is flat or slightly concave. So, for me, being right-handed, usually this side would be flat, so for him, this is going to be the flat side, so I'll need to forge the bevels in like this. Alright, so here I have it basically ground. See, this side is flat, this side has a bevel on it, so there's one or two things I need to do before heat treating it. One is to grind these. These knives typically have a bevel right here as well. I don't believe it's sharpened fully, but they have a bevel along there, so I'll grind that in. And then put my stamp right here, and then we can heat treat it. Okay, so now I have my stamp stamped in there. I have that little bevel ground in, and we're about ready to heat treat it. So I'm going to fill up this little trough I fabric cobbled together with some vegetable oil and quench it in there like so. And yeah. Alright, so now we're going to let it just cool off in the air to normalize the steel, and then we'll take probably one more normalizing heat and then we'll heat treat it. Okay, so this is after heat treating and tempering. I've just ground down this side so you can see it, just to clean it up a little bit. And this side right now is perfectly flat, but this isn't actually what we want. What we want is a slight concavity in the side. This will be slightly dished like this. This will make the cutting edge a little finer and also aid in food not sticking to the blade as we cut into it. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. So I have a 36-inch yardstick, basically, with a piece of metal, sharpened piece of metal on one end and a pencil on the other, effectively making just a big compass. So I'm going to use that to trace out my where I want the circle to be on this. So there we have a slight radius, a 36-inch radius basically on our block of wood. So I'll cut this out and then take this piece and attach it to my belt grinder, and then we can grind the hollow grind in the back of the knife. Okay, so that's our radiused platen there, and if it looks a little jury-rigged, well, that's because it is. So we'll see if it works. It should hold on okay, I think so. It's reasonably secure in this direction. It won't come flying up this way, so because the belt is always forcing it down against these things, so it should work okay. Alright, so now I'm going to polish this end, so I'm just going to take the same radiused platen as I was using before with some sandpaper and polish the blade. Okay, so I have the knife ground pretty well, I think. I have the back side of it with the slight hollow grind polished, and what I'm going to do now is refine this bevel a little bit more on the water stones, starting with the 220 grit and then moving up to 1000 grit, which is this side. Alright, so now to etch the knife I'm going to mix up some etching solution. This is the container I've just made up for it. It's just some 3-inch ABS pipe capped on one end and just a stand for it. So this is the chemical I'll be using. It's ferric chloride, and you can buy this at any electronics store. They use it for etching circuit boards, I believe. And you want to mix up 1 part of this to 3 parts water. At least that's the solution that I use. And just the rest of it with water. Now we're going to etch it. And before I do that, one thing I want to do is just to cover the edge with some nail polish, just to prevent the acid from acting on the very edge, because I don't want my edge to get messed up here. Alright, so this is the knife going in. Okay, so I'm just gonna give it a final polishing on the 8000 grit Waterstone here. Alright, here's our completed knife blade, and now we're going to make the handle. So I'm going to use a piece of ebony and a piece of ironwood. They're going to go just like that. Okay, so this is the completed knife. As you can see, ironwood handle, ebony bolster, and the blade is 88 layers of 15N20 and 1095 Damascus steel. On this side you can see that it's beveled on this side and flat, or mainly flat, with a slight hollow grind in this side. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching.